My name is Joseph, and I'm 29.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are we here?
We are in my home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So you did invite me to stay with you. You did accept to answer my questions. Why?
Well, you hosted me about 5 years ago in Belgium, in the name of that city I have a hard time pronouncing.
Dernbergen.
Denbergen. And yeah, I was just happy to hear that you were passing through my way. So I was happy to host you, happy to hear about your project, and happy to be interviewed and partake.
So you are ready to answer a few questions?
I sure am.
Who are you?
That's a good question. Let's see. I am an artist and a theater designer and a friend and a lover and a person who cares about the world but is often very bitter about the world. That's who I am.
How do you care about the world?
Well, I think I care about the world through my art making, to try and work against some of the terrible injustices that late capitalism brings upon us.
Which one, for example?
Oh, just the sort of sense of alienation and isolation that many people feel all the time, I think, and that is a result of lots of things, but in large part due to this sort of like never-ending frenetic sense of time and the constant ask for our time to be optimized and that sort of precariousness that results in. So I like stories that allow people a sense of relief or offer a sort of direct sort of way to politically act to remedy some of that or to create a sense of community. And just the process of doing that is really helpful and healing for me.
What brings you joy?
Learning brings me a lot of joy. Learning and making things with other people specifically brings me a lot of joy. Being close to people brings me joy. And yeah, those are some of the things that bring me joy.
And what is your biggest fear?
It's a hard question. I suppose my biggest fear is being unable to live in a way that allows me to make things with my friends and sort of spend my time in as much of a meaningful way as possible. I'm afraid of that.
Are you in tune with your emotions?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I feel very close to my emotions.
How? How do you experience them?
I think I've experienced a whole range of them in a whole different ways. Like, I experience like really like ecstatic, frenetic highs from doing things that I care about and like being with people, and I experience like really dramatic lows, depressions and anxieties, sadness, joy, hope. I experience them and think about them a lot.
Do you cry sometimes?
Yeah, I definitely cry sometimes.
Alone?
Lately, alone and in public. I cry a lot lately, but yeah, I cry a lot in the shower. I cry a lot when I'm driving in my car and walking outside. Those are my main places of crying.
What are you proud of?
Proud of my siblings. I'm very close to my brothers and sisters. And I was like, there's 4 of us who are all within 5 years, and I'm the eldest, so I feel like a very deep sense of responsibility and love for them, and so I'm proud that they're all thriving in their own ways. Yeah.
Are you loved?
Oh, I've loved, yeah, for sure. Oh, am I loved? I think I'm loved, yeah. I'm loved by my family and friends, collaborators and lovers.
Are you American?
I am.
What does it mean to be American? What does it represent for you?
What does it mean to be American? Well, these days it feels like it has a very narrow definition of unfortunately narrow definition of being born with or having some sort of legal status here. There's some good thing. I don't know. No, in large part, like being American sort of means being a victim of systemic injustice for the most people is what I think it means.
And for you?
Also me. I have some exterior privilege as a sort of cis, most of the time, male presenting body and being white, but you know, my family's from very low income background, so. And like even those, yeah. I think most people, even those with more privilege than I, even feel that unstableness.
Do you plan to vote next year in 2020 for the next president?
I do. I always vote. I do a lot of work about gerrymandering, which is a sort of the sort of manipulation of voting districts to sort of predetermine the elections. So voting is like more important than ever because you need like a much stronger turnout to overcome sort of these politically drawn lines. So I will vote. So.
Do you believe in something?
Like some sort of a higher power or something?
In something?
In something.
Could be in yourself. In.
I really believe in the power of art making to affect change. And maybe not a change that one will ever live to see, but maybe could affect the future in some small, tiny way to work against the hegemonic systems of injustice we live under. And that's new for me. I didn't do any sort of art making or theater or any of this stuff until I went to my undergrad, so when I was 18. So I feel very much sort of, I found a lot of purpose in that, and I wasn't, I always liked ideas before that, but I had no idea what I was going to try and do with my time. So I think art making and critical theory saved my life in a lot of ways. I say that sometimes, so I believe in that.
How does art impact your life on a daily life?
It's most of what I do with my time. I am always working on many, many projects for myself and with collaborators and friends, and I like to see art all the time, and I think about performance a lot and sort of how the sort of performative structures of what we like enact and live out every day are sort of like make up our lives, and sort of in that way I think like everybody's involved in art all the time.
How do you see your future?
Oh, I don't know. The immediate future seems fine. The post-immediate future seems a little unclear right now. I've got, 6 more months left in my graduate program. And then, I don't know, move somewhere else and figure it out. But I'd like to find a way to make art that I care about, and I'd like to teach critical thinking and art to people. really get a lot of joy out of doing that now. So, yeah, I hope for a future filled with art making, joy, and teaching.
Critical thinking. So what is your definition of truth? What is truth? What is the truth?
Well, I certainly don't believe in sort of a sort of overarching like singleness of this sort of like an idea of objective truth, but I think about truth as a process that is subjective and is something that is reified through the actions that we enact every day. So somebody's truth is sort of the makeup of the sort of ways in which they've lived their life and sort of the structures that have sort of guided the ways in which that has to be lived.
What is your truth?
I'm not sure at the moment, but my truth is probably to do what I can through art making.
Is there anything else you would like to add before we finish the interview?
I don't know. Thanks for taking the time to interview me and come visit me in Pittsburgh. I really appreciate it. It's been really lovely.
Thanks to you. Thanks for your hospitality, your friendship, and your trust also. Do you allow me to post that on social media?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah, of course.